And good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday. Where has September gone? We are on the downhill slope of September already, and it went way too fast. 52 degrees as I walked across to the studio this morning, and 55 is all we are looking for today here in Polk County in Minnesota, right by Grand Forks, North Dakota. To all of our listeners, thank you for joining us today. If you are listening later, of course, we totally appreciate you. Our Sunday show, we do a travel show, of course, and that's live from London, and it's amazing. We have about 1,000 people that watch us at the moment, but we are up to 14,000 people that we have touched now since last Sunday. So we appreciate all the people that just tune in when their schedules allow, no matter when that might be. Just keep doing that. We always appreciate that. This is Have You Heard? Of course, it's our short version of the show that we do on Wednesdays. And we just appreciate that you are here and that you join us. Veronica off on some kind of a meeting today. We have news about the fires out in California that we are going to bring you and a little bit of update. I want to show you, first of all, what happened and why we haven't been online here for a while. This is the studio. That's what I'm in, actually. And it used to be sitting on the west side of the farmstead here. And it had to move because there's some new construction that's going to happen there. I would like to tell you it's a giant 5,000 square foot studio that we're building, but that's not going to happen. But what it is some new construction for my son and daughter-in-law, and we're very excited about that. But this happened to be sitting right in that proposed place. So to make way for that, the movers, my friends from Midwest Trailer Repair, they do all things with mobile homes, mostly that people live in. But they brought this office to us from Western North Dakota a few years ago and set it up. And now they came again and unset it up and basically kind of backed it out and turned it around and backed it in here. This is much more convenient for me because it's way closer to the house. And this will kind of be its permanent place here now for the next few years, I believe. Fortunately, this was a place that had most of the services, but we didn't get those all hooked up for yesterday's show. So we are all hooked up now and ready to go, and pretty happy that things are working really well. So they've got it all finished underneath. The skirting will come in the next week or so, and we will have warm floors and a wonderful place to work. So those of you that don't know what you see here behind me, I will admit it, that's not my living room. Some people said, wow, a grand piano in your living room, and this is not my living room. I'm sorry. Anyway, today we do want to talk about what's happening. I have an interesting news story for you from out west, and that's going to be our Have You Heard episode for today. Let's change the banners here just a little bit. There we go. How's that one? The big thing, of course, is we've heard about all these fires. There's been as many as 80 and 120 and even more fires burning out in California. And of course, some of them are burning across hemp fields, and this is going to change. The amount of hemp and hemp oil and CBD oil that's available in the United States this year. How is that going to change yet? We don't know. But California, Oregon, the fires are ravaging hemp. It's no other way to put it, destroying an untold number of properties, causing millions of dollars in damages. They're engulfing farms as hemp harvest was just beginning in some places. And of course, investments beyond measure right now for the 2020 year. 28 active major fires in California have scorched 4,375 square miles, according to the Associated Press. In Oregon, over 1 million acres have burnt during the last week, according to Governor Kate Brown. That's about 500,000 acres, 781 square miles. It's terrible. Now, of course, California usually has wildfires. We expect some of them, but it's a factor of about 20 to 1, about 20 to 1. No immediate word about how much hemp is burnt. But Oregon and California, of course, among the biggest 10 of the producers of hemp in as far as acres go. That's according to Hemp Industry Daily's Hemp Harvest Outlook. Near Jamul, just east of San Diego, the flames began to encroach on Eddie Campo's property near a mountain back a couple of weeks ago. He worked on a barn that was holding memorial services for his mother. Imagine he was having memorial services. His son came, tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Dad, have you looked up the mountain?" Of course, he was focused on the funeral, said no. He went outside and was shocked what he saw. He was growing 5 acres of hemp up on the mountain. The farm was licensed to cultivate 40, but they had 5 acres up there. He and his neighbors called the fire department, asked for help for anything, ground, air support. They could get it extinguished. They got no help. He and his son and 2 friends started to fight the fire on their own. They had hoses, shovels, and a bigger fire hose and tried to spray the mountain down, but nothing. So for Campo's owners of No Boundaries Farm, first year planting hemp, invested over $700,000 of his own money into the enterprise. It's all kaput. 70-foot flames started coming down the mountain and heading toward the farm. Ultimately, they were fearing for their lives. Despite their efforts, not much was saved. The son's home was destroyed. Their indoor growing operation was destroyed. Their cloning rooms, their flower rooms, all of their merchandise, half of the outdoor crops. So that's just a tragedy, and all because of fire. Chris Boucher, CEO of California-based farm Tiva, he has said he has 2 clients in the Jamal area, and they've lost everything: greenhouses, equipment, labs, their homes, everything. Further north, he talks about farmers in Oregon near the California border whose crops are damaged by smoke. Isn't that funny? Some of this is smokable. You would inhale it, but yet, of course, the smoke damage from everything that's burning on the crop makes it worthless. Smells like a burnt forest now. Oregon State University is pulling together detailed information on the facts. This Jeffrey Steiner from the school there. He said information is going to be presented coming out on their field day, which is going to be on September 23rd. It was scheduled for today, but of course, with this mess going on, everything is delayed. He knows of 2 farmers who have had total wipeout. They did not have fire insurance. Who would have fire insurance? I mean, on your crops, fire insurance on your homes, your buildings perhaps, but on your crops. I wouldn't think about that. I don't know if the state's going to get in here. Maybe the federal government will get in here. That would be nice. Nathan Howard has so far been lucky. He's the co-founder of East Fork Cultivars in Oregon near the California border, 33-acre farm. His wildfires are about 2 miles away. He says they're still standing. There's an evacuation order in place. He and his neighbors are holding fast. They're trying to protect their property. They've dug fire lines, putting in industrial sprinklers on the top of their structures. And so far, he says he's safe, but at any moment, they may have to pull out. He's taking trips to his company office, trying to save seed stock, and maybe have to just start over again, 1 seed at a time. His comment, it's pretty messed up. Lots of people on the West Coast, they are like lots of people on the West Coast, they are in immediate danger. So let's all hold the people out there involved in these fires in our hearts, as of course, farmers everywhere don't want these kind of things to happen. I remember my dad back in the 60s or 50s always said that we always got good prices because somewhere in the world farmers were struggling or suffering. And of course, nobody wants that to happen. So that's pretty much Have You Heard for today. The fires out in California and Oregon are going to affect the hemp crop as well as all kinds of cannabis. As well as all of the other things. I have a gem friend. He cuts semi-precious stones, and he's from one of those cities out in Oregon that was just flattened by fire. He happened to be down in Vegas visiting a friend of ours, and for days he couldn't even get a call back. He has a warehouse up there, and then his retail shop and his home, and finally got calls through and found out that there's nothing. He has nothing. The warehouse, the kind of doors, just a storage shed kind of thing, gone. The retail store that he had, gone. His home, just ashes. He's thinking of relocating to Boulder City. There's a gem guy there right on the main drag if you've driven through Boulder City, who's quite elderly and thinking of getting out of the business. And I think they're going to put a deal together, and he may just relocate. There's literally nothing to go home for. So what a thing these fires are. I was talking to my son about it last night, and if nothing else here where we live in Minnesota and of course North Dakota and any of the plain states, pretty hard for a fire to get to our place between sugar beets, soybeans, and even grain. Fire's not going to run too far in grain, it seems, before it will go out by itself. I've not, in my lifetime, not seen fire run across a grain field. It'll catch, it'll burn some, but it won't go across. That is our Have You Heard for this Wednesday. Tomorrow, CANNA is back with a full-on show. We are back in business. Our studios are now in their regular place, and we are looking forward to talking to you more about all of the things that are hemp. Had a great call in the middle of the night, actually doing some business with some buildings that we have, and as part of that, actually, a gentleman said, "You're in the hemp business. Tell me all about it." And what was a 5-minute call turned into an hour-long call, as he's excited about considering getting into the hemp business. And of course, the number one thing that anybody that's in hemp right now will tell somebody is, if you think you're going to turn $1 in your pocket into $100, go join the carnival, because that is not the hemp business. It's a legitimate business for people to get into and think about their future. It's an exciting industry, but the get-rich thoughts of it were something that came and went. Let's get down to business and make this one of the new industries of the United States. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. CANNA will be back again 10 o'clock Thursday tomorrow. In the meantime,